And they've both started using Teo now. Like, it took them a while, but they both finally discommitted. Take up of the worst pistol record. In that set. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Dude, that's nuts. That was that was a sick play.
Stuck in enemy lanes. He has a way to disengage here. There are still smokes blocking the path.
Dude, that's kind of funny. They changed up their
I've never seen them do this.
But they did something different. So when Keiko played Liquid, they did something similar for their bonus where he TP'd to the floor, and I think it's like a little play on that. And when they hear it, they think he's gonna be on the floor, but actually he's window.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Martin happy to overheat a little bit there, closing on a milestone amount of kills.
Yeah, they love using the defense or the attack smoke to do stuff like that. Des, hello mate. We were flaming you earlier. Thank you for the 29 months.
Spot Rooksik just yet, but as the snake bite flies over back of yellow and the turret takes contact, Sadak might just swing this solo.
Same time though, you've still got
Million death view way off me.
Avez having those salvos.
What else would I be doing next year?
Ready to swing on out. KC will get the first round of this series.
Such a strong start for KC to pick up on. They finished out on the attack side last time when they were playing Liquid on this map. You can already see Sadak keeping everyone in check. As you say, this is a balancing act in every sense for both of these teams. Stability has been hard to come upon. In terms of this opener, yeah, Martin's just TP'd into the edge of his own smoke.
He went through the edge of the smoke.
Yeah, she gets in front.
Pretty sure his legs would be showing, but I guess it's angle wise. Maybe it just leaves enough room. Either way, that was a lovely pistol from them. Yeah, you deserve to win the pistol when you got someone like this. Full eco, they're allowed 2 deaths. And it's a 5-person duel on defense with a flash. Oh god, it's actually the G2 trap play. No way. Dude, this is sick. This is the G2 trap play where they go close, they put the smoke up, they flash, and then as your smoke's going down, you can't really see the flash because of the animation bug. I say animation bug, it's just the fact it takes a while for it to go down.
Crossfire set up with the alarm bot for contact.
Yeah, this is straight out of the G2 playbook, this one.
Is that paranoia to re-engage?
Yeah, I mean, it's the classic KC delay, correct? Like,
nobody want to.
Oh, dude, they actually get ecoed so many times, don't they?
Oh, many times.
Straight up gunfights. Finally, that smoke comes up.
The EDG of EMEA.
I don't completely know about that one from Koala Noob, because it doesn't maybe allow Sugetsu to get in this gap of his own smoke, and there you go, hero isolated. Paranoia
Bro should never be winning that. Oh my god, are they gonna win this? There's no way.
Oh my god.
To his name, funneling bullets back into the magazine, getting out of dodge.
Dude, he's still got regen armor as well. He's on for it.
Also got that regen shield, so we'll have some
Chat, who was this? Who was the person that didn't get that first kill? Dude, they're gonna be kicking themselves.
I think that was Hero.
Do you want me to stream to you, by the way, so you're on the same... I can do this so you're on the same...
It's just the extra speed to get to getting right in there.
Did it with Pansy, worked out pretty well.
Rooksik, the reprisal from Rafters.
It was Hero? Oh boy.
Viper versus Viper.
I saw him.
I don't know if he was spotted there or not, but Rooksik feels confident on this re-entry to site. Toxins go up and he starts to work on the diffuse behind
That's real scary.
Closing in.
That's insanely scary.
It's just a
Holy dude, how has he won that? He's actually saved them.
No, that first shot on Hero was incredible.
I mean, it's fast, yeah, it is fast. You're still going to be gutted if your hero. You should be favored there all the time. It's like a 90-10 duel.
And I want to bring this back to yesterday, right? How many times did we see NAVI get themselves into a position and then allow VPL to just clutch it up, sociable?
You said one clutch.
No, no.
I'm sure that's not the last we were going to hear from Zeish there on the reaction. Exactly, right into the next round. Martin back in mid. Double TP.
Double TP over the...
Look at KC.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
They've identified where Martin is, and
it's still lovely trades on this as well. It's a big game for Elite. There's some rumors out that they were looking at people to replace him.
It's a 3-on-3, and
So
Navi do have the
I
slightly
think this
better
is a big
weapons.
game for him.
That's discounting
He honestly
Sadak
just
from
doesn't
his
perform on the
position.
Vice.
Kitchen
So
could be
Yeah,
killer,
I was about to
and
say,
the
you
shots
mentioned
will
this
land
before,
that shout
that
down.
if he's on Cypher or on KJ, he looks
Advantage
fine,
KC
but
from this
the moment you
position.
put him on Vice,
Looking at the
it's
defenders,
like...
they're
yeah, he
split
just
up,
has a rough
still
game.
worried
His
about
Vice
the
stats
captain.
aren't great. I still like this play though. TP, normally there's an alarm bot or a turret here, so you're just doing pathing that isn't going to get you spotted by that, so they maybe don't know you're in the corner.
Navi playing with borrowed time.
Either way, give him like a solid little crossfire. Dude, Sagetsu's playing great.
Is on the fire.
Lovely pistol, lovely bonus from K-Cop.
Troubled waters.
Looking like a
in their
liquid game or
anti-eco.
something. That's what they're known for.
But with the bonus round, it just gets better.
Oh, I wouldn't say it's a liquid game given the second round, the Taiko.
That's true.
That wasn't very liquid-like.
Yeah.
Through the orange position, and then Sadak buying so much more time.
That's always been something he's been accredited to heavily as a caller, the ability to just change up the pacing on a dime. It's that mid hit there that you see. Again, Martin
Wanted to buy a
showing
hero
us the
gun?
flexibility
Okay,
of his
changed it
agent
up.
call.
It's going to go
With the Omen.
Bulldog, no armor.
The duelist, the de facto one on the other side, Koala Noob, of course.
I like
playing
this
the
though.
same
They do
role,
their
double
normal
smokes
smoke over
both
towards here
sides.
to block vision, but he actually like pushes through it, so he has a pretty good timing here. Can kind of lock them in. They can full pass the stack over towards it. This is another round where they might get eco'd.
And they were also just looking towards mid
Full passing, just waiting for that pop. Then they can salvo. Everyone's gonna have their guns out.
Bit of utility for sustain.
There's a lot of sheriffs here.
Wallet does have the
It's a
smoke.
shame.
Oh,
Dude, if they had calmed this a little bit, they might have been able to smoke him out and him to cross there.
A quick click of the shot.
I think based on map movements, Navi has a very good read for KC on this map. Like they're reacting perfectly on.
Struggle to see him
every
getting too
default.
much.
Yeah, I mean the risks of it. I mean, if you look at the ecos, I guess they've kind of just stacked the right side every time.
Can be put on the site itself.
Yeah, but this round, like Rooksik has a perfect read into the default, right? It's just a smoke without anything behind it, and he just takes a space, and half the map instantly is clear. They know exactly where it's
Yeah, they might be pushing
which we're
sometimes
talking
as
about
well.
here, and also the mid rounding, something which is going to come up a lot during this series.
You'd be excited for K-Cop if they made Toronto a new meta. I'm excited for K-Cop once Teo's gone, yeah. Because they obviously they aren't good with agent.
You mentioned it before the map started. They're positioned really well for stage 2.
Because when you
The permaban is running away, Teo is getting nerfed to the ground.
And then all they need is a harbor buff.
But even without the harbor buff, they're already in the much better spot.
Yeah.
He never played FPX.
The harbor buff
He's
would just
found a
make
way
it
to
that they
dodge
win
each other
champs
in
for
those
free.
brackets.
Dude, if he committed to that, look out.
KC now.
Omen ult to the back of Snowman with the flash. My goodness, Martin's got his own flash out. Yeah, it's the FPX smoke.
And manages to keep us alive. Navi coming straight back into this
Dude,
one.
this is chaos, man.
From mid that opens up the site for KC.
Nice shot.
Oh, Naves with one more. The extra details. The pit dropped in. Xiao still ahead of this and can interrupt. That's exactly what he does. And as the pit drops,
You can't be doing that. And the Viper's the planter as well. That's criminal.
I swear
It's
that
a double
happens every
mistake.
time when you Viper ult before the bomb is down.
Yeah, but also the Viper shouldn't be planning.
But they've
Yeah,
found
that's also
Koala
true.
Noob at the same time. And now Elite has to try and find a safe space for this spike.
Another one of the differences in the comp is that plant security.
Ooh,
KC
okay, the
usually have that
wraparound back
affiliation
over
with
towards B, I
Harbor,
like
but
that.
No Sage, no Gecko, nothing of the sort. You're forced to try and take that extra
Never left
space.
A pack. I mean, it was a
like the idea
similar
for them to go for the switch up again
similar
and this
ult
fast
strat
speed
to
play.
also earlier, not wrong.
But is it now forced down to just Elite?
I mean,
A steady pair of
every
hands
Omen
who
ult is pretty much in this
steered
area.
that BBL ship for most of last year, now on KC, and it's moments like this where you want to see something big.
I will
from
say
the
Navi should
youngster.
have won this round very cleanly, but for some reason, I don't know, maybe the comms were too chaotic.
I
The
mean,
alarm spot.
I think the double pinch
Alarm
was good from it.
Onto at least one of the Navi players.
Like, there were two people that were just getting pinched on top side.
Fast.
Yeah, but the alarm
fact
spot
that he looks to
spotted
toy
them.
with.
I don't
Xiao
know
does
if
still
Yeah,
have
it's
the
just
amount
that-
time
of
to
Koala
react,
does
or
have
the
a
comms were
smoke,
too
so
chaotic.
They're
or-
at
he
the
needs to be
angle
heads
though
up
as soon as
with
the
this.
alarm bot goes off.
Straight up gunfights. Hasn't used any of the utility. Boss fight found. And
Dude, I tell you what though,
will be
I
able
feel
to
like
get
K-Cop will be
Navi's
alright with
first
this.
round.
Four people that have to rebuy.
Great way to break the ice. Navi needed that. Don't know where that one's off to, but good to know that we're still, on Icebox and not thinking about split just yet. That the KC momentum can be
They're not even
stopped.
looked back.
In terms of what Na'Vi did well, just winning a couple of these key duels, and this is brilliant play from
that's
Shao.
how it went down.
Why he was retained
Yeah,
in
it's
this
bad.
roster.
Also, the alarm bot needs to be further in the
It's just due to his
Viper.
consistency
More
at the
under,
top
yeah.
level, consistently being able to play regardless of the
Jaws,
role.
thank you so much. Who do I have for these?
Just to give you a little statistic, Kaza, one for the
So
folks
I would have Navi, but I had BBL winning this, so I don't think that one's counts, Jaws.
Which is
And
absolutely insane
then
to think about.
I have Vitality for next game. But I also have no idea what Vitality we're going to see. Okay, this is a big important round just purely because 1, 2, 3, 4 can't buy next. Looking at the money for K-Cup, they're sitting good. Got Killjoy ult, probably want to see it on this round. These ults, probably want to see both of them, although Omen ult's like situational. This is interesting. Possum, bottom of the tube, shoots it, so if they do hit the shots, they might think that they're a little bit further behind than they actually are.
Towards Keishan, actually. Oh, a little
Dude,
loose
what
on
was
the
that?
trigger finger there.
Have KC been playing this like
Navi really want to
mid-default
clear out
versus
that
PL?
Viper's
Because I
pit.
haven't seen
You
this in the
have
previous
the
games.
lockdown on
Not
elite.
sure.
Killjoy ultimate
that looks
would
so
do
weird.
well to clear out that A side, and that's where the spike is.
It's a warning shot, yeah, I'm about to peek you.
He's still a bit timid here.
The ball play from
Utility
Ruxick.
invested, suppression on Ruxick. He'll be unperturbed by the
Yeah.
situation, but walks into
That's
danger.
not what you
want
wanna
to
see.
Back. Sadak with one.
Dude, that pretty much there is a ping nerf as well, by the way, right? Because normally his teammates or him could ping this out and he could just spam it. This time he actually wants vision of it.
KC find themselves a little pocket of domain to work within, but remember, it was only Martin that was seeing
That was actually a very
double luck.
indirect
This is getting a little bit
Viper nerf, right?
chaotic now,
Because you
without
can't do
us
like the
being able to
Yoru
pick
inside the
that one
Viper
up.
ult, and you just
Control,
Yeah,
restored,
you can't
things
do
were
much.
order maintained
You have to do
as
the
far
like
as
spam
KC
me
are
with the Yoru
concerned.
stuff.
Yeah.
Still others coming in late. Has
The game's
salvo
got so much better with the ping
equally
nerf, to be
beat.
honest.
Wingman can
that is
try and make things a little more difficult for the attack to try and digest. It does get the spike to
Yeah,
half,
Wingman
but
actually got half
that's where
there.
Haves brings us
Oh,
back
Wingman's
to
great.
reality.
It's like salvos on his head.
Angel dealt with.
Yeah.
Last player sat in spawn. It's Shao and Haves.
Okay,
has
nicely
him
done.
caught.
Force them down
KC back to
to
winning ways. That's
around
number
2k
5.
each.
Clinical is the words that I would use, and I think right now Sadak is completely outcalling Angel.
I wouldn't get half there, no,
The
mate. I'm
defense
tanking
are
that.
Not dealing
I'm tanking
with
the salvos,
these
I agree with you.
mid-locks. And that's time and time again.
YouTube
3 or
question, do
4
they asking if I
times
reach out
that
again? Of course
Navi
they
have
are.
found themselves a player or two down.
So we're immediately going to see
Inso, I'm
timeout
sorry, I'm
come
sorry,
through
sorry.
from the Frenchman.
I was too busy eating.
His countryman's organisation.
I had the-
I
I had the,
suppose, I don't know.
Yeah.
But both of these
you had the
teams,
rough
of
game in
course,
there.
looking later
Dude,
down
you had
the
Mini
line
on there and
into
you didn't
the
do
year.
any
We
of
know
the
each
games for them not making
rebuilding.
Berlin.
Import of Sadak, of course, now up against a regional veteran in the form of Angel. It
Dude,
must be
someone's
said
gotta
the
eat the
goal
chicken and
is
rice, come on.
champs, and that's
Jonah
what
with
you're
the tier 1,
thinking
thank
about
you
at
so
the
much for
end
the
of line.
35
But
months.
in
Thank
terms
you,
of the
thank
game
you.
right now,
To be fair, it's not
the big
like
takeaway
Mini
from that
has
is
lost
that
a
Navi
lot
had a
in
good
EMEA, you know
setup,
what I mean?
but
There's not a lot to be
KC
sad about,
just so
right?
Dude, Mini, I don't know what
Having
this is about. Mini's
conditioned
lost
that mid-pressure
loads.
you were talking about, it feels
I
like
don't-
they've
I
got
don't know
their
where
finger
this is
on
coming
the
from.
Like in terms
pulse.
of
They can always
eliminations or
change
what?
up how
Not
it is
really,
exactly
no?
they're approaching each and every
Elimination games?
It's
Wait,
making
he didn't
life
make
very
Berlin.
difficult for Navi.
And
That's
I think
one.
as well, like the other thing about KC, and I love that you speak about the conditioning
Is
aspect
that it? I
of
think
it,
that's
Yeah.
it, to be
because
honest.
the one round
Yeah,
that Navi
exactly.
looked to actually
I mean, that's the same
approach
as me, though, but I haven't
fight
seen
it,
anyone
right?
glaze at me about that.
KC just sent it
What's
A,
going on there?
and they were slow to respond to that.
Yeah, but
So,
And he had Leo, Dirk, and Boaster.
I would really like them to try and push the limits here, right?
yeah, I suppose so.
There you
Well, you
have
had
it.
Scream.
A
Honestly,
millennia
yeah.
for Martin.
Scream taxes on me, yeah.
1,000
You're right.
kills in
Yeah.
VCT EMEA.
You had Scream Yampi in the Vera, no?
Since partnerships began, but great to see.
I mean, the guy that doesn't play the game anymore.
Challenges
Well, okay, he did back then.
become one of the most feared players coming into this playoff stage. It
Oh, I
must be
see.
said. He has had a good start to this map.
You farmed Mini? Yeah, that's good. Someone had to.
Come up time again.
You think 100 wingmans would win against one gorilla? Mate, I would win against 100 wingmen. It doesn't matter about the gorilla. And I can't 1v1 a gorilla.
Koala actually jumped back. Again, KC, like they've managed to avoid this mid play that Navi have set up as well.
And I think that's exactly what you're doing in this round if you're KC, because you know of the threats that lie on this Navi side. As we've said many a time, Eco's not something that you're consistently looking at them potentially being able to post, but one off of a lockdown, a Thrash, Hero Shao, and Angel.
Fast
of
Floods?
course,
Why do I feel
having
like they want to use
VR
their ult
again
into this?
available. There are 5 Na'Vi players on the other side of Spawn.
Oh, they do, man. You guys full eco.
Yeah, they've sent it back in and they've able to get one, but at the same time, Zugetsu has completely cleared up. I don't think a shorty will work at that range. KC's rifles certainly do, and I think they're moving through this with ease at this point, Hazza. The only thing is, time is getting low. And
they had some combo with like a Viper molly and whatnot, right? Was that
yeah, but dude, like, why are we doing it on an eco?
15 seconds less time.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd do it in a 5v5.
I feel like some of these teams, man, I don't know what's going on in the VOD review this year, but some of these teams need to be like, why the hell are we doing a set plan with our ult on this round? We have no guns.
You had, it was like a stun contact for an orbital strike. The fact they're so willing to invest.
Eco ults, bro, it's been non-stop this year, and like sometimes they're okay, and sometimes it makes sense. But stuff like this, it's like, sure, man, it's gonna tap the spike and get out of there.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. I just feel as if Navi.
Okay, this is where Navi starts working though. When Koala starts getting the op. That is definitely the big win condition. Problem is, I would say that the Omen is good against this comp just because of the vision buff we get to see.
Have a couple here to retake back into the A side is the weaker of the two, and there is only Ruxic here.
I'm also just looking at Sadak's null command because one of the unique interactions with there being the KO in play is that KC do have a natural counter to this double layering of smokes, and sure, the first line of that defense will go down, the toxic screen removed. The question is, with the knife coming back up and all of this extra util in post, is how do KC want to try and play it? It looks like Martin wants to go
they're absolutely wrecking him.
1,000 and counting as he adds yet another. Still those big ults for Na'Vi to work with though.
KC need to be careful with those coming back in.
Yeah, they gotta retake. Oh boy, 4v5. Just gonna be tail to cancel this.
And fight in towards screens.
It's brilliant. Armageddon goes in. You've got a fragment there as well.
Oh, I like the positioning of the tail though.
Using the tools they had available.
Yeah, he does extra floods and hits heaven. That's nice, dude. And the only space they can be in is over towards here, and you see him on the minimap and spam.
Their usage on this map is actually so good, and they refuse to play it on any other map. Like, it's not like they're bad with it. Clearly, their ideas are good.
I do that. I think they were just obsessed. Like when I look at K-Corp here, I think they were just a little obsessed with the whole, you know, the Sky Harbor thing they used to do. They just thought, well, the Vice is the new Sky. That's it. They just tunnel visioned a little bit.
And it's also the thing I told you about last time we talked, where like Sadak had this idea that this is countering breach. He was like expecting all the breach.
Yeah. I mean, I think sometimes you have a bad read on the meta.
Lots of thought being put into this. Another gun round coming up.
Problem is that sometimes costs you like the whole year.
Been able to hang on to a lot of those weapons, including the.
I mean, it happened with NRG as well. I think that's the worry though. Like, if you look, the thing is, you got to have someone in your team that's like good at that. Like looking at an agent going, "This is busted." Like you had to look at Teo and think it was busted.
Though with NRG is like really worrying that they're not even admitting that they're wrong. Because like the more recent interviews and whatnot with them are like, yeah, we still think Teo is bad.
Wait, really? I thought they started playing and just accepted it.
I believe there was like an FNS thingy where he said, yeah, I still don't think Teo is that good.
Surely not.
Maybe it changed towards the playoffs. I'm pretty sure it was before the playoffs, but like with a couple of games already played.
The interview was after kickoff. Okay, well, it's still relatively far away. They started using it, so I think they wouldn't think it's.
Yeah, if they started using it,
basically you've already bypassed this. Sadak gutting out the site itself, just making sure he has the space for the spike plant. All over from Koala. Na'Vi pretty quick in how they're looking to
Problem with Na'Vi again is like two big rounds. They now go into this with an ult that they would like. The Teo or the Killjoy would have been lovely into these rounds.
Even has the salvos. This is
going to be really
hard for Navi to get through.
It's a kill already though from Angel. That softens things up massively. Martin missing, not a player yet.
Dude, Wingman just gets sent into everything. There was salvos and a KO nade. That's sick. Just send Wingman in.
But Angel is just sticking this.
They have 4 agents with
salvos. Nicely done, man. Managed to get that defuse.
Nowhere to be seen.
No, that's actually me on Gecko. Just looking at how much util's on the spike and being like, yeah, go on, mate. Get in there.
And a very much needed one at this stage in the half.
What did that little guy do to you, huh?
Jeez, it's annoying, man. Stony, thank you so much. Stony WH with the Prime. Thank you.
Sure,
I appreciate that.
The first tier, but on top of that, there was further players to come through later in the post plan, and there was so much utility that KC could work with. Rather than taking the jewels, I know Navi tried to go and look for them, but just use that utility.
Okay, can they get 2 in a row? Because it's a similar thing where they win 1 and it's like 2 of them are going to get insta reset. It's not as bad as before. Instant drone to set up the op, and we have a 3-person duel for Ruxic. He did pretty good. He got unlucky to not get another.
Trade. Was only Ruxic walking down long.
At the same time though, right? You get rid of the tail. That's clearing utility gone, and not only that, post-plant utility as well. That could be a really big pick when we look at the post-plant for KC.
Yeah. No Viper, no wall on it.
Yeah, but they do have the armor.
Out this pocket.
So it's not like they don't have
Seems like both sides grouping up on A. KC already giving away their steps. The alarm bot contact hit. It's Hero off site. They've still got the Thrash and a lot of those key pieces from the previous round.
Should be pretty strong.
Dude, K-Corp could literally just do the Sentinels game plan that they used against G2. This perma smoke here. Can't really get past it.
They are immediately on the site. Shao picking up his first. Angel right by his side. Looking like another successful retake.
Hold up.
Unless Sugetsu can do something to stop this.
That's so good. Scouting mission again, to be honest. Okay, 2 in a row. 2 in a row. Maybe they can get a good half here.
Continues to show signs of life.
Yeah, and I think as well, KC at the minute, maybe letting a chance slip to really extend their lead. I mean, 7-4, 7-5.
He really should have gotten 2 there. I don't know how to do it.
That's why we're going to see Eng and Zeish introduce themselves into this match for the first time. Nice, boys!
It's KC timeout.
It's timeout. I mean, it's just going to be about their after plans more than anything else. That's it. They're probably going to take some space now instead. You'll see.
This comp already is very on brand with the type of Valorant that Sadak has been pushing for a long time when you look back towards his stint on Loud.
I think they'll just do like deeper smokes and you might see the Omen just TP deeper. I think will they take snow mana if it's on B. I think Paperworks can beat teams like Heretic, Sen and G2. I think it's map dependent, yeah. I think they're like good enough now that on their day they can take down teams. The thing is you can never count the individuals out. This is like the thing with that team. Like the individuals are so good, now they've kind of actually shown the discipline and play situations fundamentally like right, then they become scary.
Allowing KC to actually get the kind of setup that they want, and when this chaos does break out, it doesn't feel like
it just took them a while to actually.
Is there anymore.
And it took them a while to actually show that they can do it. The good signs were there pretty early on. And you can tell that they were learning.
It took minutes for it to happen.
Yeah. I think the main thing there is like, I think something probably got the most value out of him because his Yoru changed when Mini was on. Because I can't remember what there was. Do you remember when we watched that Pearl game and it was something on Yoru? And he just only played it like a jet. I don't know, it might have been like 4th game in, 3rd game in. Third group. Like we never really saw that again.
Very quick, we all know that, but it's also a part of the map that he can watch and allow Navi to gain information through that. History for Navi on A, and KC are walking straight into this.
So this is the smoke that I was talking about. This smoke's super strong against the no duelists. This is what Sentinels were trying to do. Just make like this a heavy choke point because you've got no duelist. What, an Omen's meant to like TP into the open past it. I think it's a good idea from Navi. I honestly think it's going to work better if K-Corp decides to do it with this comp. You have to kind of commit with the Gecko flash.
It just feels like wherever Navi try and
just feels like K-Corp are a little bit better sticking together. Like every single time I'm watching them, they feel like some kind of trade coming in. I still think that Navi can do the same, but
up until this point, but it starts well.
Ooh, damn, nice movement. Oh, quiet drop as well. That was legit. That was nice movement.
And a Red Bull
That was some
clutch
nice
that carries
movement.
on
Makes the
Navi
jump to
streak
top of
and the
side
comeback.
silent as well, and then drops down
mean,
silent also.
I don't even
Like,
know.
it was so
KC
decisive
just
from
so
him. That was sick.
disconnected. I can understand the first strike.
great.
You don't know where Hero's coming from. This is forgivable. Martin, though.
Dude, Martin has no idea.
A little confused, yeah.
And then the last, it's just so easily given to Hero.
It's incredibly frustrating for Zaish.
It's just like, not again, man. Come
Coming up
on,
with
dude.
another massive clutch, as he has been dependable in those situations so far for Na'Vi. Certainly not the first 1v3 I've seen him pull off this stage.
It won't be the last either. Towards B we go.
Okay, insta drone out towards A though, and they don't.
Pain point for Na'Vi.
My guy's just running straight up tube, by the way. Dueling.
Through that mid duel.
Exactly, and I'm glad you raise it because it's
I
probably
think it's been the thing with this team. Doesn't look like Sagetsu. They kind of. I'm not saying they win and lose on him playing how he plays, but very risky.
I feel like
still doesn't feel like
with KC it's been a lot of like individuals dragging them across the line. You know, they're like good enough as a team to get every map close, but then they kind of need somebody to be playing insane.
Yeah, but they haven't really had that too much. It's just Martin or Sagetsu.
Yeah, it's mostly Martin or Sagetsu. Aves had like one really insane map, I remember.
Sadak just reverse engineering the smoke, plops down the
They've got the lag on here as well. Damn, they got 8. That's pretty good.
Still hanging around in middle.
Nah, they're still so fun.
Does remove him from the situation. Looking at that post-plant utility, KC don't have all too much. They want to fight this on the front foot with a thrash. Oh, into the smoke could be huge. How many does it get? Absolutely nothing. It's Martin with 3, and so KC do come up trumps before the end of the opening 12.
Yeah,
I still think it's doable. But didn't last time they played it, didn't they take out? I swear Koala just popped off on defense.
Looking to manipulate it in their own way, and they know exactly what Navi's setup is and how to counteract it.
An unbeaten streak so far for them here on Icebox. Does it continue? Find out after the break.
Clean.
Icebox is where the duelists turn into Omen. I mean, yeah, the duelist duties kind of get spread over between the Omen and the Wingman, really. Like, honestly, Wingman does get baited like mad. You just send it in to try and plant, and then you can just trade it as they're like focusing on stopping the plant. Yeah, there's definitely some good good pathing you can do with the Omen as well. All you really have to do with the duelist is TP over towards back of yellow. It's like the only thing these days which you really need a duelist for. I would say top of yellow as well, but you can do that as an Omen. Some stuff over towards back of A, but a lot of the time you just push them through the choke together anyway.
Paula is also kind of used to not playing the duelist on this map. This can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he played Sage on MAT.
I thought he used to play the Omen on MAT. Yeah.
I mean, like even before like Gecko and stuff, because they had the comp with the Gecko later, and he was Omen there, and I think before he was playing Sage.
Oh, maybe he's on plant duties.
I think so.
He was definitely on the Omen for a long time because I remember watching. They had some nice stuff on this map. They had some good pistols back in the day.
Welcome back.
Definitely in the last year
finishing
of
the half
MAT,
with a flourish. 8 rounds is what they'll take.
He also
to the
played Omen for
defender's
them on
side.
Lotus. That I remember for
NAVI
sure.
back on Icebox, where we'd seen strong signs from that Vitality game, but again, it does still feel like a bit of a red herring. The back and forth of wins and losses, they need to get off of this roundabout, otherwise it's going to be an early exit.
Yeah, I think for me, Navi, the last time that they played this
Raid boss? No raid boss.
They actually impressed me a lot with some of the call-ins, some of their ideas of how they wanted to approach this.
Guess they played with Angel.
We'll see exactly how that continues as they move on towards the attack.
Oh, it's a long time to stick together.
Feel like the big brother
Pi, Parrots,
in this
FPX,
matchup in terms
Navi.
of they understand how the comp is being played out and how to counteract what Navi want to do.
Last pistol on the defense. KC did a very good job at highlighting the flank, being super proactive on this defender's side, and already Hero's completely isolated under belt, but calling for backup. There's a brawl going down, and KC draw first blood.
You see it's a brawl, it's more like a beatdown.
Oh boy.
Flash is perfect though.
Oh
man.
It was like, it was pretty good until it wasn't, and it was a lovely flash from Koala once he realized numbers were here.
and KC have a bit of a notification.
Yeah, I feel like Sadak kind of messed up there, man. He thought he was fully out.
Complete information void on A right now.
Huey Dewey with the tier 1. Thank you for the 4 months, mate. Thank you for that.
Steps soon to be heard by Elite. His utility helping dictate the pace of the flow through mid as Sugetsu has bought a rotation.
Lazy Crazy in the YouTube chat. Thank you for that, dude.
Down and the spam's not landing.
Little wingman just tank that.
Nah, he's got
Respect.
It. Yeah, just about.
No problem for the wee man.
Martin still has that paranoia though. That's the other thing to consider moving into this. And well, as for Navi, the utility is looking pretty barren. It's all about these gunfights, and Navi continue to win them through this round. Martin, though, still up and alive, and you know just how good he can be. More damage being dealt, although Sugetsu now having to clutch up another 1 versus 3.
No,
both
boy.
players are low. This is doable. Shao lucky to escape here.
Nah,
Just with that,
dude, when they were both close here, I was like, ah, he actually has it.
Yeah. Navi winning every single pistol round yesterday against the team which led it statistically BBL.
Yeah, like to see it.
Still going out in straight sets from that matchup in the upper bracket. So I'm looking now at can they build on from this. It was a nice 2v1 at the end for old time's sake from former teammates against Sugetsu.
That's why I'm not fighting, boys.
Happy to take a back seat.
And he's doing well, considering we saw that statistic yesterday about how he's improved his first death rate.
Not only that, helping support.
He's improved his fast death
Sure,
rate.
Hero had his rookie year last year, but even there.
Dude, yesterday was a shocker from him. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, insta speed up.
So just backtrack. Yeah, the
kind of.
there, Hero asking for the support.
Like the slowest reaction from this. They still don't know about 1.
This time though, it's a full rotation over towards A. 4 players to greet Navi, but that spike.
I wonder if it like took them a while to see all the question marks on the minimap. Maybe they like overlapped.
Well, the response from Navi is to immediately hit A.
Hello?
KC though, very quick on the mark. The timing nearly works out for Carmine Court, but at the same time, Navi have dealt with every duel that's come their way.
There's not really much to fall back upon here if you're KC either. It's
well, they get a full buy for this as well, so
it's
gonna be a buy v buy.
And I think at this point, all the Sadak right now is went like, look guys, we're not going to win these duels, we're not going to win the post plan, so let's deny them the ultimate orbs, and I think it's the right call here.
Absolutely. Next sort of checkbox up on my list, my little Navi list right now, I think is how they're going to approach this bonus. As you see Hero on his pistol, get 1 more on the way back out.
Any other teams run the train for? Nah, I think every other team is like... I don't think there's any other team that people are like underestimating at the moment. I think everyone else's views on every team is like pretty fair for where they are.
A couple of times yesterday on their bonuses, they were like...
Icebox is like the only team that's getting like heavily underestimated. And maybe EG.
In terms of the money here, I mean, it looks
Vitality? Vitality might be getting underestimated. Maybe that's the best shout.
Yeah, I mean,
but dude,
look, happy,
I need to see them.
On track right now, and with this being
I need to see them show something decent today.
Because KC are massively going to
Liquid, mate. Most people think Liquid's second best in EMEA.
Second or third, right? Like it's the top 3 of Fnatic, Heretics, DL. Not exactly in that order.
KC's side and
BBL? Problem with BBL is I've consistently... I've got to a thing now where I just have to predict the Yumpy's not going to do it, so that he does it. I can't break that. Dude, imagine he gets out of here. That's crazy.
He's a magician.
Dude, that
gets a trade on the back of it.
That cubby's way deeper than he thought.
That's crazy.
But Navi back into that situation felt like they were so separated at times. We do see it in these moments where there's slight lapses in concentration.
Okay, I tell you what.
They had 2 players re-clearing.
This one's
they had
doable.
Hero belt.
This is the frustrating part about Navi. Is like
this one's really doable.
In a position to build that momentum, start to move forward in the rounds, and just letting it slip.
Just when you think it's the light at the end of the tunnel, the oncoming traffic heads in your direction.
Because he's going to feel like he has to get kills, so he's going to go close. He can't play normal after plant.
Another Turkish player to take on the 1 versus 3. make that a 1 versus 4. As Martin is
Oh,
still
okay. He can't win. Oh, no, okay, he can win. It's back on the menu.
And it needs to be clean, right? The unfortunate thing is that drone has identified exactly where he is, so he's not going to have much of a chance here.
Okay, it's unlucky then. Almost. I wanted him to like go forwards earlier, but the problem is I can see the minimap and he can't. Like he has to think that someone's like relatively close to him.
It's something that's happened a couple of times now, which is frustrating to look at. But in terms of what KC did well here, just reading the situation. This is just ridiculous from Martin.
Dude, they both whiff so heavy here.
So unfortunate from the spray at the same time.
Jesus, looking like me and you, mate, having a 1v1.
He's me, he's not, bro.
You're overestimating me if you think that's how I look.
Wait, you reckon less than that?
Yeah. Still though, ability to come back into this.
Damn, dude.
I can send you a clip between maps actually. I've played Valorant.
Oh, honestly, if it's worse than that, I don't think I want to see it, man. I've seen enough of Bacon play. If it's anything like that, Jesus.
As you say, it's the age all going on. Dizzy in, players blinded in that AoE. So as it drops, Xiao's able to recover, and Navi gets so much space early round. Look at Ruxic walking up tube. Close to the turret.
I mean, could call for a smoke to come and support him from Koala.
Still not spotted though. While he sits around in this position.
I hear the drone early. Dude, that's a shame. He shouldn't be shooting that. Because now they know that there's someone cheap.
Backup is now arriving.
This is the thing that people don't really... People... Okay, well, they're just...
At least the base is here to try and cut off any rotations, but that's massive from the top.
So what should be happening here? No, but let's actually talk about this a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the ball is in Navi's court. They're just going to slow the pace all the way down.
You got the drone, right? They can only see around it. Perimeter around it, you can only hear it as well from like relatively close. So if you're here shooting it and it's here, this person's too far away to be able to see it and to be able to hear it. So you know that this person here, you know that someone's close to tell you to shoot it. As soon as you shoot it as well, and also you're trying to shoot it before it's trying to clear tube. Like, you know that someone's going over the top to shoot it, so they don't give information, so that otherwise you wouldn't protect it so heavy.
There's no reason to shoot that drone ever if you don't have some sort of
but then they didn't put 1 and 1 together. They're treating it like a normal drone. They're treating it like a server drone that can see everything.
Up with his teammate, his leader Sadak, as he moves through B long, but Navi have moved forward. They've changed the goalposts, and now KC have got a really tough problem here. Martin trying to use a smoke to get on and
yeah, that cost him. The best example is like A long, right? Where someone from A long, we've seen it recently, someone from A long deep tries to shoot and someone's in the cubby once they're re-clearing. And it's like, this guy can't hear it or see it anyway, so you know that someone's close to get the information.
Performance is a word which we brought up quite a few times.
It is a weird off angle though for the jump spot, but he still should be expecting it. In my opinion, you don't need to get information here when he's doing it. You know it's that thing.
To bring them to previous M80 levels, if it's Koala or all the rest, just having the comfort of someone like Hero on this Killjoy or Cypher, of which he prefers to the Vice he was playing.
Sugetsu needs to be careful here.
The early stage.
He's heard the Gecko, but he doesn't know there's another.
He's so low.
Down, dude.
I think he's seen that
yeah, I guess he saw something.
Too many times before. Martin does isolate the lurk, and with that,
yeah, either that or he just knows it's a thing. He didn't make a sound.
There's a little bit more support on the B side of the map this time as well, though, and the plant is yet to go through.
This would be a devastating one for K-Cop to lose.
To get Clears into position to flood retake is
So
absolutely
nothing
massive.
stop this, Sadak.
Sadak is only on a pistol.
And that Ghost can't do enough to deny, but the rest of KC played in.
Oh, there's a stun for back yellow.
And Elite from up top, dropping in the stun. Koala gets
He
his
stuns knowing that he's about to eat an omen flash.
But the playing field is skewed in favor of Navi.
Martin, big flash.
The back of yellow positioning is so constricted, and that's where KC have a vice grip. Can Angel do any better?
Got salvos, mate.
Oh, he has salvos.
The salvos are up, and the time is ticking on down. Even more onto Elite. 6 points of health. One bullet. We're doing
no way.
Time?
But it's Martin
he's fine,
again, and with time on his side, he can
that was
take
close.
Carmine
17
Core
HP in the end.
That was so scary.
There's one bullet, yeah.
Big ground for Carmine Core to win out. Navi when you think that they've found ourselves a way into the B site, a way to get within touching distance of their opponents, just goes the other way. And now you start to look at the economy, you start to look at how the rest of this looks. Navi need to be careful, because if they lose this, it could be a massive swing round. The good thing for them is they have plenty of ultimates to use.
Yeah, let's have a look at it. Oh, dude, this is... He's not wrong, it's a big round. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like this though. Instant Omen ult, and in the past they have Omen ulted and actually like stuck it, so they have to go clear all of these areas. Just creating question marks around the map. KO nade goes in with the salvos. Salvos hit. KO nade looks good. Yeah, nice.
That's brilliant.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and they don't get any space with that.
Navi are left stumped, scratching their heads. How do we get into this site?
Okay, third ult now.
Gonna have to use the thrash.
They're gonna take the orb for Teo.
Oh boy, dude, they should definitely do the G2 pathing on this.
So it's gonna come down to these gunfights. And now Martin's on.
Dude, if Ivy's in chat, he's not gonna be impressed with these Gecko ults.
Here for contact. KC are perfectly in place, and Navi feel like they're out of options. Shower saving grace though.
That's massive.
He's in chat. He is in chat, yeah. He's furious. Oh, dude, here we go. He's got to do so much. His teammate is so far away.
He could use his ultimate to escape, but wants to stick around.
30 seconds.
Dude, look at the time he's buying.
Look for his next duel, his next fight, and doesn't realise Rexik was close.
Unlucky. He did a good job. There's not much else you can do than that.
Yeah,
no. It's Sugetsu again. It's Angel on the other side. Molly at his feet, but supported by Rexik now, and this one should not be winnable, but Sugetsu's already done a boatload of damage. Cross-held solo by Hero, drops back.
He's the miracle maker, he's the man you want to depend upon here. And with the Viper's pit down, that's the biggest obstacle that he needs to try and get by.
He's looking elsewhere.
I mean, yeah, it's worth it though. It's definitely worth it.
He's the one.
Dude, this gets close now. This gets really, really close.
Within touching distance. Just 2 rounds now separating the teams.
Yeah, I was speaking about the economy, right, and how expensive this round would be for Navi if they lost it, but they put everything towards the middle of the felt. Only one ultimate was kept into the next round. That was Angel's, and that was only because it never came up.
It's crazy how in so many of these rounds it looks like KC are so well set up defensively.
I just call everyone dude Ivy.
Falls apart.
If that's
there was an
I don't want to
extra
take offense from it.
for Rexik.
Yeah, at the same time, it was expensive for KC. They're down
okay,
to
knife
Sheriffs,
goes in.
Now that's where
It's
we
one, that's it.
Navi
Force them down to an eco.
Get close to their opponents now.
We got
they're in that eco cycle of defense. It makes it so much
coming out
harder.
next round, you would imagine.
And this is just another opportunity to tighten up that scoreline a little bit more. You take a step back and look at the veto. In terms of these maps, you go on to split, but I don't think last time out was a fair representation of what KC can do there. Last 3 series, they haven't banned it. It's been floated, and then Ascent.
I like this from Navi. Does everyone chilling for 40 seconds? Want to see if they go aggro? Does he get out of there?
Drone to follow up and make sure that there's no one else hiding.
Hey, the knife's kind of good, but it doesn't give him too much information.
Here, though, is that
like they actually only saw Gecko, Flash, Omen. They only saw 3.
Win this map. The series all of a
they
sudden looks
only.
very
It's still quite a
different,
lot.
but it's rounds like this that we've mentioned time and time again that just don't
the Icebox,
feel
yeah, I don't mind
too
that.
guaranteed for
Icebox
them.
is fun when there's new comps, and like the Omen comp isn't used that much. It's still like pretty fun to watch. 4-person stack back a site.
That's the question, right? Show's done well, so have Navi. It's starting to become a
Okay, well,
stampede
here goes the
of
4-person
yellow
stack.
and black. And they'll send it
This is what I was saying about the. I was saying in the Paper-X game as well, right? Even when you have like a 4-person stack over towards site, like you've done everything good, there hasn't been like much map control, and you just kind of you're gambling and you gamble right. It feels like you never get rewarded on this map.
Yeah, that's why it's shit.
You can just have like a 5-person stack on A and just lose all the time. I know they don't have the guns here, but
granted, this is an eco, yeah, but
yeah.
this can happen on any round.
Round-winning ultimates. But nice to see.
Okay, big buy rounds. No timeout for this one, and it's a similar thing where they have to eco if they lose it. Lord of light armors. Any? No, okay. Dude, I thought they were going to start bringing out an op, but
and how they're used. I imagine
maybe versus double smokes they don't want to.
How he counters elites.
yeah, yeah, might be that.
Hopping on defense, right? The Omen has.
Oh, there goes A.
Koala finding Sugetsu and an open up in A.
Chat, did Zagetsu have ult before this?
He just needs to hold on to
Before
this
this
space
death?
towards screens. You've got so many strong ults
say yes,
to
but I'm not
combine
sure.
and cut back
Yeah, I'm
through.
not sure either.
Absolutely no reason to overplay your hand, and he's done a brilliant job at just managing this space,
No?
which
Okay,
KC now
okay.
backfill.
And not as bad as I
Also,
thought.
KC know about the late luck coming through kitchen from Ruxy.
Shot.
Oh,
Wait, it's actually an absolute
This is
shot.
an even
The
bigger
Viper.
problem
Dude, they
from the
put
French
Tailwall
side.
into this on defense as well. Oh
It's
boy,
Shao in the
cake up.
corner though. 2 kills picked up from him. Martin forced to just bail from
Yeah,
the
and they
situation.
got no money
as
again. Dude, they
Navi
gotta have a
found
timeout.
a way to tie this back
Yeah.
up.
They get in and just
It was a
run
brilliant
down
round.
on A.
KC came in
I was
with
expecting it after
all
the
of
4th round.
tools
Yeah,
and
yeah.
looked like they were
You're
happy
gonna
to
see
have
him
the
start
A
like
space.
pushing
But then
pushing
when push
on
comes to
mid
shove,
or
there was just nothing
because
there.
it's like they've tried to go aggro A, they've tried to defend A. Like the only real option left is to just push behind. That's it. That's all you got. And if that fails, I don't know, you're just done.
They showed a really nice tail ult play like early on, like at the start of this stage, and they've never used it again, and it would be perfect for
The aggro one.
I don't think you should feel too desperate in using all
The problem is
your
once you've shown
ultimates.
that people
I think this is
know
a good
about it.
time out for Ing to try and refocus the French side.
Exactly, and it's another test of depth in terms of the strat book, what they want to pull out on the defender's side. It feels like, you know, at times on Icebox, it is a little bit reactive.
At the same time, it kind of just feels like a classic Icebox, where sometimes you have those games where you just go A and you win every round.
You just win everything, yeah, you got no answers. It does happen. Because I guarantee they're talking about pushing behind now, you'll see it in the next 2 rounds.
Impressed with how Koala is starting to gel into this.
So we've seen more weird ults this year than normal. Honestly, I kind of agree with you. It's been a really weird year for ult usage.
I feel like that's a result of like EG back then showing people how good you can be if you just coordinate your roles, and people trying to do it and just not being very good at it, you know?
It's just normally the round that they're doing it on. I think it's also down to like people were pretty bad with tail ults at the beginning, apart from like 2 teams.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And I think the tail ult, once you get it wrong, looks like really bad as well. Maybe.
Yeah,
the question is, can they take it over the line on Icebox?
We ever play Val? I played a couple of TDMs recently.
I would also thought
That was kind of fun. Yeah, right.
How's your
just
TFT
the
right
amount of
now?
times that we never
Ah,
saw
I given
Navi
up, man.
actually go and take
No
control
way.
Yeah, I
of a
gave up.
series. Well, that's
We
where
got
it was.
to... Is it Emerald? We got to Emerald 3, and then it went back to Emerald 4, and I was like, do you know what?
Right here.
Yeah, I can't do the grind games anymore,
Be
man.
careful though.
Yeah,
Too old.
already missed one
Too old.
minute.
Too old for the grind. Pretty much, yeah.
This is a KC eco.
Maybe we
but
try again in the
I
off-season.
feel like
but-
when we fly stats like that, you just know.
No, in the offseason you're playing Valorant 5 stacks with your
Yeah,
mods.
the off-season
Every
stacks,
single
man. Apparently I'm playing every game.
on the defender's side
Yeah, you
is
are.
within striking distance of this.
Of course. At the same time though,
Oh, there you go.
You're gonna be streaming more in the offseason than
the
during
share
the
of
season.
kills to get to. But
Jesus,
you've
really?
also got to be careful of Martin's hero rifle. This eco round
Hold up.
could really go out of control.
Especially they go for a
If Navi
2-3
can't get a grasp on it.
lag.
This is also where KC want to
Dude,
play.
imagine losing this duel. Dude, Martin could have won this
Should have been
round.
doing more. That would have given KC a huge opportunity. But Navi are the ones
One
that showed
paper boy
them
with the
instead.
prime.
None
Thank
of
you
those
so much,
ults
dude.
with
Appreciate
any
the
view
prime
to be
usage, man.
used.
Good to see you,
Not
dude.
the same way that Navi had thrown them at some of their ecos.
That
KC
was
building
devastating.
towards something bigger in the next. But while all this is happening, I mean, look, you've got 2 more to build towards here on Angel and Hero.
Yeah.
What do you
Interesting to
think?
see
How
if
many
they're the
more
ones getting
hours
the
do you
kill here.
watch them play Valorant?
Against
God, I
French,
dread
right?
to think,
So we
man.
could easily just go and duel instead. No, calls it quits. Would
10
rather
times,
keep
maybe?
that rifle into the next round.
Maybe
as
not that
our
extreme.
cash is pretty tight here. He'll go to 11, Navi.
I mean, it depends. You basically didn't play the game when you were
Towards
coaching, right?
the crunch time in this map.
No. Well,
I
but
like the
first
outlaw
like
buy, but
first
yeah,
year I
it's
did,
always gonna be one of
just
those
because I wanted
rounds
to
where
see everything how it
something
worked,
crazy could
what was
happen.
broken.
It was a decent start from
Then I
KC,
kinda
but even
stopped.
with players in place, not quite doing enough. Has he got a Sadok fan in the audience?
Is that Sadak on his
nice.
first team?
Yeah, that it is.
Obrigado.
Young
That's
Sadak.
Anyway,
what a
Navi
pull.
now with a lead. Can KC rely on their captain yet again to bail them out of a bad situation. Something has to change.
Back by track running for Paper X, not any other team. There's no good team for it yet. Everyone's, again, no one's being underestimated as much as Paper X. I had to jump onto it.
From Paladins.
From Paladins, okay.
Not even from Val.
Okay, they go for the... Dude, this is so funny. They do the K-Cop double TP against them. It's a good Omen flash hit, double back of sight here. Oh, they don't know about the Viper.
Still worried
Wait.
about Kitchen and a player potentially being deposited there.
Wait.
That was Hero, and he's gone.
Dude, he missed his window.
This is huge, and the spike is still not down.
Chance to deny that. Wally doing well. I mean, at the same time, trying to stall out using the Thrash, but the Viper's pit has bought a little space in which to work with.
This is chaos, man. Look at Angel go.
Angel trying to reposition towards Snowman, decides against it.
I think from this position, you can still sit outside the
kind of okay.
if you're KC. It doesn't really.
Wait, that was nice, dude. Dude, that's a strong throw from Angel. All the way top yellow. No, he's funny. He honestly didn't think he was sticking. Dude, that's an easy 1v2.
Martin very nearly.
That was the most ranked round
I've seen in a while. Entirely. 24 kills now for him.
Martin having good impact on this.
Going to the very limits of regulation.
So we were talking about him early on, and then he kind of went quiet since then.
He's been a little bit quiet, yeah. I mean, he's been quiet on defense. He's been getting wrecked on defense, actually, I'd go far and say. That shot's a good example.
You would pull off the angle after the spam, right? What do you think?
What's banned?
Communication, maybe.
What's the
but at the same time, the point I was making is
wait, they might do that overlay hand.
Because you get a pick, not realizing it's not the diffuser. I feel as if Navi just not paying attention to the smaller details.
Yeah, and in rounds like that too, where you could take number 12, get map point on your opponent's pick in this elimination series.
Remember mini segment on stream where he was explaining something to do regarding macro? Yeah, it's just explaining like soft side, weak sides in terms of some teams fighting when they should be playing retake or leaving the site. Is pretty much what he was talking about.
With the look in towards international events at the end of the year.
I mean, it applies for this map. It applies for every map. It probably soft side, weak side. Sorry, it's hard side. So like strong and weak, basically. It applies on this a lot. Teams often should be playing retake on A, but then just fight on A, and there's not enough people fighting on A. But this map also plays so different to every other map. Okay.
Not too far off some of their own.
Dude, K-Cop are gonna win this one. You gotta see this KO come out. That buy for next round, if they lose this, is not pretty.
Martin's the only one really backing that up.
Martin has been unrelenting in his aggression, and I think at times Navi have struggled to contain it. You can see two players sat underneath Bell outside of A right now, as the rest of the pack is just cleaning up on B long and keeping
20
the attention
seconds.
of KC, holding it.
Question mark created over towards B. Smoke to then create pressure that they've gone back of yellow. Question mark, instantly cleared from the drone, and then big rotate over towards A once they saw no one.
To that extent, KC are not fully.
I'm surprised the rotate's not bigger at the moment.
The knife goes into mid, that's a little bit of extra info, and now Sadak seems
this is what we said would work really well though. Double smoke here. I think that if they actually had the Viper smoke here as well, they could hold this real strong. Sentinel's G2 is best example of this we've seen for like a while.
To open this up, but that's very quickly
especially against a Gecko, no duelist, like you have to make the Gecko commit with the flash.
It's Elite that actually gets the kill, not Martin as he tried to play
it's a great Omen flash. Oh my goodness, Martin.
Navi would want, and the rifles denying the players that they would want. 2 to the good now. Navi still trying to play slow, and as they do, they just get completely cut down. Spike goes cold, does the round.
It's getting kind of close.
10 seconds? Nah, they're fine, right?
Be within a chance, and with 10 seconds left, you would think it's going to be KC.
Martin's Omen flash here was the best timing ever.
That was incredible.
It was so good. It's 2 wanting to push through the Omen smoke, and then they both hit the flash.
Okay, flash immediately to follow it as well for extra delay.
It's a number of times now where we've seen them get into position but fail to execute from that game plan. So this does feel very gratifying from their perspective to win the duels. Hero keeps it close, but still too far out of his wheelhouse.
Relax, guys. Everyone relax, please, okay?
And I think that's the big thing, talking about emotions. Relax in
Dude,
here.
20,
that's what Sue was asking.
25 to 17.
How easy is it to control the emotions of your team?
Yeah, Gecko Flash makes a lot of sense. If he gets shot, he can still pick it up. Yeah, little hero op of a backup gun as well.
They do it again here. In terms of info, it's the first 20 seconds already lost to the clock.
I like that molly lineup to try and get rid of the turret. It's gone. That mid control now lost for KC. A big question mark, but Sadak has the cross.
Sadak's looking at this molly like, what?
Walks through, just doesn't know about kitchen though.
Why?
NAVI are yet to really involve themselves here. They're still with this two-player pairing, both of the lurks. Still in a one bot. Brooksik and Hero starting to show themselves in Sui's direction. He's backed all the way up. Still playing from yellow, but two players dragged over, and now A is open for the taking.
Okay, that was nice. I keep trying to clear the question mark over towards B all the time.
Not fully committed to this. They're spread.
Dude, where's the spike going? Oh, dude, the spike at one point there wanted to go all the way back, and then Angel said, no, we're hitting this site. So I guess we're using Tail ult to get the plant. Yeah, Tail ult goes in to get the plant. Do they want fast flood with a 3? Yeah, that molly's good, man.
Such a small lane to actually play into, so that fragment's already done.
Omen flash, fast floods. No, no one wanted to flood with it. Dude, they gotta respect this.
A little bit of delay for the attack.
They have no way to break it.
Absolute chaos as utility goes traded. So quickly keeping tabs, Na'Vi have little left for themselves. Angel's salvos is about as good as it gets. There's still flashes and stuns on KC's side to come back through.
Shao finding himself another pocket, much to work, and Navi supporting him in his endeavours. 2 players left, make that just the one.
How's he alive?
The leader of KC.
I mean, the smokes were nice, though. The smokes gave him so much freedom. I mean, it's a close icebox, this.
Yeah.
It can go either way.
I mean, KC had players in position. It was a tug of war, and that rope was.
We really watch all the regions. We try to. We definitely don't get to watch enough of China just because it overlaps with Pacific. And sometimes I want to go gym. But we at least do all of Pacific, all of Americas and EMEA.
Game in stage 1. Util sent both ways. Na'Vi not left with all too much, but Shao's positioning late is what wins it for them.
But that's not the first time he's done that. No, found himself a little pocket, the smokes to support that, and KC just swing it dry. They had already used a little bit of utility trying to come in early. The lockdown denied that.
So on to the attack.
I mean, it's going to be about who wins the fence rounds, right?
8-4 from them to kick things off, but Na'Vi respond in kind. A little bit of pressure put on early towards this right-hand side. Spike posturing in the direction. It's classic Calming Court. You're expecting them to go quiet and then re-hit in the latter stages of the round.
We're just chilling for a bit. Take A control. Catch sound like they might have gone back, ready to pop into any of these positions. No way! Wait, how's that bullet hit him? That was not meant for that guy.
That was not meant for him.
That was not meant for him. Okay, let's see what the retake's like. They might be able to fast flood. Flash over the top, stun came in, molly goes in as well, no one pushing. They still have Omen flash to flood. Yeah, there goes the Omen flash, now they commit.
Here it comes.
Martin, KC. One player to the good, still
big Joe.
Knockdown, but don't necessarily need it. Winning out the deathmatch here, and then
double swing
denies Hero his utility, so he has to depend upon his rifle, in which he has been hitting his shots.
Oh, this is crazy doable.
A similar position in which from
before they're still going to think the one's over towards site, right? Unless he heard the rope.
Hero's heard the drop in as well, and Sadak,
as you might have heard him drop then.
Needs Sugetsu to trade off of him.
That's one flash in which he could set his Viper up.
Dude, his movement's so nice. That was the high HP. Oh man, Sadak, dude, what a flash that was.
And now Navi need to defend.
Dude, Hero's got some nice rope movements.
The Sadak self-flash as the skipper has sent them onto another map point. I mean, in terms of the opening engagement, it was good. KC doing enough to dissuade that quick flood. And Sadak really turning it on when needed, even getting the null command there to just...
It's okay, I carry you in overtime, guys. Papa's online.
He was saying earlier that he had the youngsters now to just put him in the backpack, but he's the one in these big moments, these killer moments, that is showing up and showing out for KC as they go into a timeout and look towards him and the coach slot for answers.
Well,
Yeah, this is where Angel gets an ace now.
The last time out that KC will have.
Yeah, okay.
Hero on forward, they just
Oh, why are you
to
making it sound like that? Like it's not possible.
hope that they get the reach right, the plays
No, I'm
right.
not saying it. You said that. I
Want
didn't
to
say
finish
anything.
it
You
early?
said that.
Navi will
Yeah,
still have
I
one
meant
time out
it.
in overtime. That's the other thing to consider. That would be the other time that Eng and Zeiss get
That's
to
crazy
come back
from you.
into this one.
I didn't say
That
anything.
being said,
Yeah, honestly, that's crazy behavior from you.
for another round.
Yeah, and looking at Navi's attack here as well, it did look really strong towards the end, but my concerns still lie with how some of them felt a little
honestly,
bit
if he
readable,
gets his ace
that you
here,
were
I'm
reliant on
giving
moments
5.
from players like Hero, who now sits at the
I
top of
respect
the
that.
sheet for
One
Navi.
for each kill.
Scorecard 21 kills.
There's one for each kill no matter what, right?
It
No,
might
no,
even
no,
just
only
be a pace change.
not
I've
even
seen
if it's an
4
ace.
players at the B barrier. with
Only
that
5.
smoke
I'm a
going in
student,
early.
yo.
They look to scale
Relax.
up behind it.
Not
So
Neuler.
gets it down himself,
Chat,
pushing
5 to a
forward
student
into
is
the
like
smoke
500
last time.
someone
That
that's
was
working.
Easily countered by
That's
Angel.
what I'm saying.
This pace extremely slow, waiting for that execute to happen, and KC have read into this.
It's a completely rehearsed execution. The mosh pit landing backside, but Sugetsu
Wait.
following
What?
it up from
Wait,
close.
he got none?
Koala with a quick trade, but Sadak still alive.
Dude, look at the
To carry
HPs
rest of
though.
his team through OT, but it's Aves that finds the next kill. And one by one, Navi drop the
Dude, that
spike
spike
is on the other
is-
side of the screen.
In Narnia.
Koala up top, but Aves knows it and nails the shot. Such a big kill.
And how do you
Oh.
even get this spike back? It's
Damn, that
really
was nice
hard.
timing from
That
him.
Timing's insane.
Individual play from Ruxic, more coming up. A lead there, and now Hero once more.
It is the clutcher though. Dude, this was
Can he
so
find a
fast
way
from
to do it
K-Cop.
yet again? The 19-year-old
Very nice from
falls.
K-Cop. Stuck
It's
together on
elite
this
to
one. Dude,
best
this was
him.
a close
14
map.
to
Close
12.
map.
And in overtime,
win, though.
KC have Icebox.
They do have Icebox. It's their own pick as well. So the next one off split, we look to